The Aspiration Prayer of Samantabhadra, the 19th chapter of the Tantra of Samantabhadra's Unobstructed Awakened Mind. Chitta A. Then the primal Buddha, Samantabhadra, spoke this special invocation of samsaric sentient beings' powerlessness not to awaken. Ho! All that appears and is possible, samsara as well as nirvāṇa, has a single ground, yet two paths and two results, the miraculous displays of awareness and unawareness. Through the invocation of Samantabhadra, may all awaken in a fully perfect manner, in the palace of the Dharmadhatu. The ground of all is unconditioned, the self-arising, inexpressible, vast spaciousness, without the names of the dyad of saṃsāra and nirvāṇa. If there is awareness of just this, it is Buddhahood. Unaware, sentient beings wander in samsara. May all sentient beings of the three realms be aware of the actuality of the inexpressible ground. I, Samantabhadra, am aware that this very actuality of the ground, without causes and conditions, is self-arising from the ground, unaffected by the flaws of outside and inside, or superimposition and denial, and free from the stains of the darkness of mindlessness. Therefore, self-appearances are untainted by any flaws. Within self-awareness's resting in its seat, there is no fear or anxiety, even if the threefold existence is destroyed, nor is there attachment to the five sense pleasures. In non-conceptual, self-arising cognizance, neither solid forms nor colors exist. The unceasing lucidity dimension of awareness is of a single essence and yet has five wisdoms. The five primal Buddha families spring forth from the maturation of these five wisdoms. Through wisdoms fully unfolding from that, the 42 Buddhas originate. Through the dawning of the dynamic energy of the five wisdoms, the 60 blood drinkers come to life. Therefore, ground awareness was never diluted. Since I am the primal Buddha, through making my aspiration prayer, may the sentient beings who cycle through the three realms recognize the face of self-arising awareness and fully unfold great wisdom. My emanations are an uninterrupted flow, unfolding as inconceivable billions and displaying as a vast array of suitable guidance. Through my compassionate invocation, may all sentient beings who cycle through the three realms leave the abodes of the six families behind. At first, since deluded sentient beings do not dawn as awareness in the ground, they are absolutely mindless and oblivious. Exactly that is unawareness, the cause of delusion. From being dazedly unconscious within that, a fearful and anxious vague cognizance stirs. From that, self and other, as well as clinging to enemies, arise. Through the gradual blossoming of latent tendencies, samsara unfolds, taking its natural course. By virtue of that, the five poisons of the afflictions flourish, and the karmas of these five poisons become an incessant flow. Thus, the ground of sentient beings' delusion is mindless unawareness. Hence, through this aspiration prayer of myself, the Buddha, may all know awareness itself. Connate unawareness is mindless, oblivious cognizance. Imaginative unawareness is the clinging to the duality of self and other. This twofold connate and imaginative unawareness is the ground of delusion of all sentient beings. Through this invocation of myself, the Buddha, may all samsaric sentient beings' darkness of dull mindlessness be dispelled. Their cognizance of clinging to duality be translucent, and awareness recognize its own face. The mind of dualistic clinging is doubt, due to the arising of subtle fixation. Dense, latent tendencies gradually unfold, be it food, wealth, clothing, places, companions, the five sense pleasures, or beloved relatives. We are tormented by the desire attached to what is attractive. These are mundane delusions. The karmas of apprehender and apprehended are never exhausted. When the results of clinging ripen, we are born as hungry ghosts, tortured by craving. How pitiful is our hunger and thirst! Through this invocation of myself, the Buddha, may sentient beings with the clinging of desirous attachment neither cast out the torment of desire, nor welcome the clinging of desirous attachment within, but may awareness take its very own seat, through letting cognizance relax in its own state, and may discriminating wisdom thus be attained. A subtle mind of fear stirs around the appearance of outer objects, and the unfolding of hatred's latent tendencies leads to fixating on enemies and rough beating and killing. When the results of hatred ripen, oh, how we suffer by being boiled and burned in hell. Through this invocation of myself, the Buddha, when fierce hatred flares up in all sentient beings who migrate in 6 ways, may it settle in its own state, without adopting or rejecting. awareness take its very own seat, and lucid wisdom thus be attained. Due to our own mind having become haughty, our mind vies with others, and our mentality dismisses them. Through the arising of a mind of intense pride, we experience the suffering of our fighting and struggling with others. When the results of those actions ripen, we are born as gods, experiencing transition and downfall. Through this invocation of myself, the Buddha, when sentient beings give rise to a haughty mind, may their cognizance relax in its own state, awareness take its very own seat, and the wisdom of equality thus be attained. Through the latent tendencies of rampant dualistic clinging, the competitive mind of fighting and struggling blossoms, from the pain of praising ourselves and disparaging others. Having thus been born in the asura realm of killing and slashing, we take a deep plunge into the hell realms. Through this invocation of myself, the Buddha, when a competitive mind, fighting and struggling arise, may enmity not be entertained, but relax in its own place, cognizance take its very own seat, and the wisdom of unobstructed enlightened activity thus be. Through mindlessness, indifference, distraction, obtuseness, dullness, forgetfulness, unconsciousness, laziness, and nescience, we roam as animals, without shelter as a result. Through this invocation of myself, the Buddha, may the radiance of lucid mindfulness shine in the darkness of our nescience and dullness, and may non-conceptual wisdom thus be attained. All sentient beings of the three realms are equal to myself, the Buddha, the ground of all, but it has become the ground of mindless delusion. Right now they engage in meaningless activities, with the sixfold karmas being like the delusions in a dream. I, however, am the original Buddha. In order to guide the six realms through emanations, through this invocation of Samantabhadra, may all sentient beings, without exception, become awakened in the Dharmadhatu. Aho! From now on, through yogic practitioners with great power, making this invocation of great power within the state of self-luminous awareness free of delusion, all sentient beings who hear this will fully awaken within 3 lives. During the times of solar or lunar eclipses, at the occurrence of loud noises or earthquakes, at the solstices or at the turn of the year, if we let ourselves arise as Samantabhadra, and recite this within the hearing of all sentient beings of the 3 realms, through the aspiration prayer of such yogic practitioners, will gradually become free from suffering, and then swiftly attain Buddhahood. In the Tantra that teaches the great perfection as Samantabhadra's unobstructed awakened mind, this is the 19th chapter, which teaches that through making this aspiration prayer of great power, sentient beings are powerless not to awaken.